Right then, hello and welcome to another episode of Wild Lake Diaries, second in the series. You join me here, it is my summer holidays from university, which I'm obviously thrilled about, and just got back on Sunday. It's now Tuesday and I've managed to get straight down the Wild Lake for a couple of days, 2 nights. It's Tuesday evening now and I'm staying till Thursday evening. I will talk to you more in a bit, but all 3 of those rods need rigs because obviously I haven't been here and I really haven't had time to tie everything up, and I've just managed to set the bivvy up, set the beds up. It is blowing a gale outside. It's been 40-mile-an-hour winds all day, but I managed to get everything set up quickly. The lake looks stunning for it. It's proper late spring. There's more hen chicks wandering around. I've already seen a beautiful ghost carp that must be close on 10 pounds up near the surface up the far end. So yeah, all 3 of these rods need tackling up. There's 1 for eels and 2 for carp for the night time, and then we'll target some carp some more in the daytime. I've also got my new quiver rod, which I'll tell you more about tomorrow. We're going to try and do a bit of method feeding, all kinds of baits. But again, I'll talk you through all that in a bit because I need to get all my rods set up before 8 o'clock. I've got to go down to the house and have some dinner with my gran, which will be nice. I'll give you one quick look at the lake from the viewing tree. It just looks stunning for it. Anyway, I'll give you a better look round in a minute once I've got these rods set up. Yeah, let's pop you down inside. Hopefully we're gonna have some really stunning fish. I can't wait. Right, so we're in the tent now, bivvy, just tying up a few rigs. I thought I'd show you one of the carp rigs that's gonna go out. Now these fish are not especially riggy because they don't get fished for an awful lot apart from by us. They're wary of humans and human presence, but as long as you're quiet. So I've gone really simply there. I'm not using my normal shrink tube because I don't have time to get the kettle out. 2 pieces of real corn, 1 of Tutti Frutti pop-up corn. Simple, knot the snot there with 2 back going up to slightly flick it over, and then I whip the hair around the hook once and it just changes the angle of it slightly, and it looks like having a bit of shrink tube at the bottom. And that's a fairly short rig because I'm using light leads, 1 ounce, and I don't want them to get, I want as little chance as possible for them to get away. Probably 4 or 5 inches of the ESP camo sync link braid to a swivel. I'm not using anti-tangle sleeves at the moment, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but yeah, and then simple silt covered lead clip on the end, 1 ounce lead. As I told you last time, if you watched the last one, you've got to use 1 ounce or 1.5 ounce max here because of the deep silt. That means 2 ounce leads will just drag into the silt. So yeah, we're going to put a light lead on that and we're going to toss that out on one of the rods, probably the right hand for now, which I've pre-baited a little bit. I'm going to see if we can get them all out before dinner briefly, but just mainly so that they're ready for the night. So yeah, let's get that one out. Right then, first fish of the session, and it's on the eel rod I just put out, which I'll tell you more about in a minute, but a little crucian carp has taken quite a few maggots on my eel rig there. If I just talk you through it now, it's a wire trace here, well not, it's a sort of braid trace fox, I can't remember what it's called, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, braid trace link up to a running rig with a bead on the end there because eels don't like the resistance, and well, it's worked for this little boy. So let's put him back and then we'll get those rods back out. About to be dinner though, so right. First fish though. Right, so it's 8 o'clock, it's dinner time, I've got to go inside quickly. All 3 rods are finally tackled up. We've got pop-up corn on the left-hand rod, that was moved from the right-hand rod. Pop-up boilie on the middle rod, they're the carp rods. I'm probably going to fish the corn somewhere over here, the boilie somewhere out here, and the eel rod under the tree. The eel rod I think I've already had about 2 or 3 crucian carp on it because it's on maggots. I'll talk you through the rigs and stuff later. Yeah, it's been a bit of a funny opening to the video because I've been desperately trying to get everything sorted before dinner. But yeah, I've had 3 crucian carp on that already on the maggot, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the house, the other pond, with my little net, and I'm going to catch some poor stickleback, and I'm going to kill them, put some boiling water on them, and then I'm going to fish half a stickleback for the eels because that will avoid the nuisance fish. There's a fish just topped out in the middle there. It looks really good for it. I'm pretty confident we're going to get some bites tonight. But yeah, I've just got to go to dinner first, which will be really nice, and I'll be back in about an hour, I guess. Alright. Righty then, so you join me after dinner. It is about 8:30. I've got the setting right on the camera now so we can actually see a little bit. Yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? Buttercups everywhere, everything is in full bloom. It's just stunning. We've got some bubbles coming up in the middle of the lake. We've got 3 rods ready. The one on the right is a John Wilson Avon quiver. It's my new quiver rod, but it's also a float rod as well. And it's, I think, 11 foot, 1¼ pound test curve, lovely cork handle, and I got my little Drennan Rats fishing reel on that, and that's going to be my eel rod. I'm going to go down under the tree. I've just caught some, I don't know if we'll be able to see them, it's in there. Oh, you can't really, there you go. I've got some stickleback, which I've just caught at the other lake, and what I'm going to do, unfortunately for them, is to boil up a little bit of water, which is what I'm doing now. Has that gone out? Yes, it has. That's annoying. And we're going to kill these poor buggers, and I'm just going to pour a bit of boiling water on them. It's the nicest way to kill them. Not that there is many nice ways of killing them, but that will stop the crucian carp going for the eel bait and the eel rod, because I can't be bothered to be up and down with them all night. It is still, as you can hear, blustery as anything. Probably why the stove keeps going out. But it should calm down for the next 2 days. It should be some nice weather. And obviously I've got the 2 rods out for the carp. Left hand rod, I'm going to try and find a spot somewhere around here, and the right hand rod I'll probably put mid-water around there, I guess, where I had that nice 8 or 9 pounder last time. I'm hoping to have one of the originals on this session, as you'd imagine, because we've got a bit of time, and yeah, I can explore up the far end as well. So tonight, basically, I've just been able to get all the rods out before it gets dark, and hopefully be able to, I'm going to go inside because it's pretty blustery, catch some nice carp and eels for you this evening, and then tomorrow I'll talk you through tactics, talk you through what's going on a bit more. Yeah, just absolutely delighted to be back out on the bank, to be honest with you. It's been a little while. I really do miss it when I'm at uni fishing. It's just this slight peace and quiet and tranquility of a few days just rolling by, some stunning fish, and the levels of excitement when those buzzers go off. Oh, it's just brilliant. I miss it so much. Right, so I'm going to get these 2 carp rods out, kill these stickleback with that boiling water, and then get a few of them out with some breadcrumbs. I've got some tuna and some maggots. Mix that all in together with a few other little dead stickleback in there to get them enticed. Get that down in the margin under the tree. And yeah, it's just getting to the perfect time now. At dusk. Brilliant. Right, I'll see you in a little while. Righty, so that took a little while, but all rods are out. The left hand to the carp rods went out pretty easy. The left onto a spot where I lost a fish when the tree was still in the lake, which I think I managed to pick out. I vaguely know where it is. That's on the pop-up corn. Threw some corn and some maggot out around that. The middle rod was a boilie and chickpea approach with a pop-up boilie, because if you seem to remember from last time, pop-up boilies do really well in here. And the right hand rod is actually probably my best carp spot and my best chance for carp, but to be honest with you, I really want an eel on this session because I haven't had one in a while, so I'm sacrificing it because I think it's probably the best eel spot as well. And that eel rod I finally managed to get out on a stickleback. I realised the problem with boiling stickleback is that their flesh becomes very soft, and so it's hard to get them to stay on the hook. But I managed to, I think, hook one through its head bone and a few other little bits, and managed to finally get it to stay on there. But I'm going to check it in half an hour and see if it's still there. But yeah, perfect time for an eel bite, just as the sun probably set 15 minutes ago. We're going to get dark pretty soon. It's low pressure, it's really warm, it's muggy, it's perfect eel weather, and hopefully perfect carp weather as well. And I'm pretty confident that we'll get some bites tonight. So yeah, I'm going to settle down in here. I won't show you because you won't be able to see much, but I've got a laptop for a bit of spring watch. I think I downloaded a couple of episodes which I look forward to, and maybe a film. And then yeah, we're going excellent. We can go and charge that up in the morning, which is the real bonus of fishing here. I'll show you more of the countryside in the morning. It really is stunning here. I think I put a video in of a little moorhen chick in earlier, but everything's nesting as the ducks come along. Cheeky buggers. Everything's nesting. It's just stunning down here. It's just so nice to be fishing. Right, well, I'll give you a shout when something happens, or when hopefully when one of these rods goes off with an angry eel. Oh, I just got a little... Oh wow, hang about. Don't know if you managed to pick that out on the camera, but the left-hand bobbin just jumped a bit. Didn't register a bleep on the alarm, but I definitely saw it. then they're going to have fed that area with corn and corn and maggot, so it'll instantly attract the little crucian carp. I still probably just on the feed, it's probably light enough still, and also there's a few little carp in here as well that will probably attract, so yeah, anyway. That's an eel moving, for God's sake. Come on. Oh, let's hope for one of them tonight. I'm watching, what was it? It's Catching the Impossible, the Martin Bowler series. Is absolutely brilliant. I'd recommend it. Yeah, so I'm going to settle down and watch that. The lake is just covered in activity. There's fish topping all over the place. Haven't seen any lumps jump out yet, but they're everywhere. Worm dankers. I'm going to change the stickleback rod over to a maggot when it gets dark, just because I think the stickleback will come off, just for a bit of peace of mind, but I'll leave it for an hour or so. And yeah, let's hope one of those rods goes off.
Tench are rotund, muscular fish that thrive in ponds and lakes where water lilies provide shelter.
Alright, we've caught a little eel. It's about half a pound, taken on the maggots. It's about 10 o'clock now, I guess. Yeah, just a baby, but we'll hopefully get a bigger one in a little while. Right, I'll take a picture so you can see him better. But, sweet. Righty, so it is about 11 o'clock, maybe coming up towards 11:30 now. And since that last fish, the eel you saw, the place has just come alive with them. It is windy as anything, it's eerie out there. The cloud cover's starting to come over, whereas earlier it was a bit clearer, and I think that's what's bringing them onto the feed. I'm hoping this wind drops though. But yeah, in the last 10 minutes, I've dropped 2 on the same rod as before. If you're an eel fisherman, you'll know that the problem with eels is that they're incredibly finicky, like a lot of predators, and they don't like to feel resistance. So I'm fishing with the running rig there, but you know, I'm getting these little bites where the bobbin sort of rises up, and I get out, and once it's clear the bobbin's not going to stop, I hit it, and there's either nothing there, or you feel the little classic jag of the eel, and you know, it's just like that. It honestly just goes backwards and forwards, and then it pops off. So yeah, I've had one missed run and one where it popped off, but I've got a brew on, I've got my laptop, and I'm happy to stay up for at least another hour and a half or so and hit these bites quickly. And I think when it gets to the point where I want to get my head down, I'll switch over to a much bigger bait so that only a massive eel could take it. But for now, I'm happy to catch anything that comes along. The carp rods, I had one bleep on the middle rod. They're going to be a lot quieter during the night. If you watch the last one, you'll know that I've told you this end just doesn't seem to be as good in the night time for carp. I've caught a few out here in the night before, and I'm fairly confident that by the time I wake up, one of those rods will have gone. But yeah, it's all about the eel rod for now. Yeah, so let's put the program back on. Keep the head torch ready. Be ready to jump out when needed.
When the clouds gather here
right.
and it rains, the water
I'll see you in a little while.
filters down through the layers of chalk.
Right, so I've nearly finished my sig. Something rather unfortunate has occurred. I assumed switching over to the maggot this evening would not get me crucians, because I didn't think they'd feed in the dark, and I had that one eel and everything was going well. I had a few more finicky bites, and I told you everything had kicked off, and in the last, I don't know, hour or so, I've had about 10 runs, all of which I'd imagine are from crucians, because I've landed about 4 of them. They're beautiful little fish, all of about half a pound, but I'm getting quite fed up with catching them, so I think in a little while I'm going to give up on the eels for the night. I'm going to reel in that rod, and I'm going to put my other carp rod onto the better spot. I told you the eel rod's on the best carp spot and the best crucian spot, it would appear. But yeah, I'll probably move the carp rod onto there for the night, because I'm getting pretty tired. I can't be up and down every 10 seconds for these crucians, and I think tomorrow I'm going to catch some stickleback and not boil them this time, because it's made them too soft really to stay on the hook, and so I'll find a different humane way of killing them, have a stickleback on the hook and go for the eels. But for tonight, I think with the maggots, I can't carry on like this, it's knackering me out. So I thought what I'd do is stick the camera on the tripod, try and get a run on camera for you, because it's always exciting. No doubt the second I do that they'll stop. And yeah, well, maybe once I've had a couple more, I won't be able to deal with it anymore. I cig burned myself in the last one, dropped my cigarette on myself by accident, and to be honest with you, it's must be coming up to midnight now. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired, so I think I'll try and watch the end of this programme, get one run on your camera for you, and then we'll give up on them for the night and put the carp rod on the best spot, and then I'm pretty confident that will go at some point. So yeah, anyway, let's put this camera on the tripod, try and get you a run. Yeah, we've got a nibble. Yeah, we got something on. Feels a bit bigger than us. Oh, here we go. It's what we're after. It's not in the net. Come on. There we go. Hee hee! We've got an eel. That's great. Right, it's just another tiddler, but let's get him on the bank. There we go. There's the second eel of the evening. Cheeky chappy. I physically couldn't pick him up, and he's about half a pound. 8 minutes long, this video. Right, let's plop him back. There he goes again, the cheeky bugger. Right then, as you can see, it's only 2 rods on the pod now. I've finally given up on eel fishing, to be honest with you. I've been up and down during the night. These tiny eels and crucian cuppa give me all kinds of problems. It's been good fun. I'm glad I got a run on camera. But I think we'll refine the tactics tomorrow night, have a rethink, go with bigger baits, go for target the bigger eels, and hopefully just get that one bite that's going to be a 3-pounder or maybe a 4-pounder. Yes, the 2 rods, the something on my bloody head now, bugs everywhere. So yeah, the right hand rod is where the eel rod was, where I've had a lot of the original big carp from before, double figures going up towards 20 pounds. Yeah, that's on there on one of those critically balanced hook baits, the corn, and the left hand rod's on a pop-up. So yeah, if either of those rods go, well, there'll be something to give a pull on the other end. Right then, I am knackered, so unless we get a bite, I'll see you in the morning. Right then, so I guess it must be about coming up to 5 o'clock now, and the what are we talking, left hand rod, that's the pop-up boilie, it's gone absolutely peeling off. To be honest with you, I thought the other rod would go because that's had a few knocks. I've just shown you some of the activity that's on the lake this morning, and I've caught an old friend of ours, the Ballon d'Or. It must be about 5 pounds these days. Fat, golden, beautiful little thing. You'll get fed up of catching this boy. Poor lad. Right, we'll put him back. Right then, so I think it's about 8:30 now. I've been asleep for the last couple of hours because I'm pretty tired, to be honest with you, after the eel fiasco and yeah, that bite this morning. I can hear by this yawn. The reason I'm up is because I just missed a run on the right hand rod. One toner, to be honest with you, which I'm really annoyed about. Yeah, rig came back in fine. Didn't even make contact with the fish, to be honest with you. The second I picked it up, it was gone. So that's not great, but it's gone back out. The left hand rod is in the right spot where I had the ballon d'or. And once the sun gets up and there's less shade over these, in this margin here, once this shadow here is gone, I'm going to tie up another rod and fish with it over to those trees. So I'll have 3 in the daytime for carp. But yeah, I'll give that an hour or so. I think I'll try and have an hour's more sleep, because I think I've only had about 4 or 5. And yeah, then hopefully one of those will go off while I'm asleep. Oh, beautiful summer's morning though. I was watching the kingfisher flying about this morning. It was a real treat. Right then, I'll see you in a little while. Right then, so I've finally woken up for good this time. And I've taken all the rods out, including the well, I'm taking the 2 that were in out, and I've tied up the rig for the 3rd. So all 3 are ready to go out, ready for the daytime. I'm just coming around with a handful of bait into little likely spots, and I'm just seeing if I can see anything. And if I can, I'll just put a couple of baits out and just see if I can get anything interested. As you can see, the sun has come out. It had a little downpour earlier. I think I got a bit of film of, but yeah, it should be a nice day. And yeah, let's hopefully manage to bag a couple. That run this morning, I'm really annoyed I missed it because it was a steamer, absolute one-toner. And I was out of bed pretty quick, to be honest with you, but it just wasn't there. So yeah, if that happens again, we'll have to sort a new rig for that, because that shouldn't be happening. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up onto that viewing stump, and I'm going to throw some baits down. Oh, I should have brought my catapult actually. Yeah, throw some baits down into where the 3rd rod's going to go, because it's the easiest place to get baits to it is from up on that stump. Here's my little boat, which in another episode I'll take out and maybe do some snag clearance, but seeing as Leo's not here and I'm on my own, I can't really do it because you need 2 people, one from the bank, one from the lake. Yeah. There was so much fizzing and bubbling and just everything this morning. It looked like a perfect morning for a bite. Well, I got a couple actually, but oh, look at that, the heron. There he is. I have to send him packing. I don't want him on it eating my little carp and tench and things. Tench is an interesting one. I don't know if they'd be big enough to catch yet. I doubt it. Maybe to take another year or so. Yeah, I do notice that when I come down here and it's sunny like this, usually all the fish are on the surface. But when I do a night and then wake up and it's sunny, you don't tend to see anything. I think these fish tend to slink away rather quickly once they know that I'm about. See, all this is new, through this stinging nettle forest, which I have to make my way through. Right, let's make sure that's all secure. Right, here you go. There's the home. There are the 3 rods waiting to go out. Right, so I'm going to bait up the spot. It's just down in here. And I've caught a few fish off there before and it was really good in the summer. So seeing as it's summer again now, coming up to, yeah, I'm hopeful that that's going to produce a few fish. So let's put all the bait out, have a look for any signs, and then stick those 3 rods back out. I'm pretty confident we should be able to get a few. I'm going to be doing a bit of feeder fishing, a bit of float fishing, depending on what the weather's like, probably in the other side of the lake, but yeah, let's get these 3 traps set. So all 3 rods are out. Sorry, I like my cigarette. All 3 rods are out. We've got a brew. We've had some breakfast. Bacon and beans on toast. Delicious. And I'm hopeful of getting a bite. As I mentioned previously, the carp have been... They tend to do this on the second day of a session. They just tend to disappear. You don't see them up near the surface. But I've seen a couple topping out where they always top and fizz in the snaggy bit that's still left, which obviously they would do. There's a bit of cover. But I'm really confident in the 3 rigs and in the 3 spots and all the 3 baits. I think pretty much about as good as they could have all dropped. I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve to try and get one out, but yeah, for the next couple of hours I'm going to sit behind these pretty much and wait for one of them to roar off, which I'm sure it will. It's a beautiful day for it. It's cloudy, warm, not too sunny. Oh, it's beautiful. I can just sit and watch the nature. Yeah, that's all there is to it, to be honest with you. I've thrown out some mashed bread with a bit of cinnamon and bun spice, this little sort of ground baity thing I make out of mashed bread. A few balls of that over each of the spots, just to get them grubbing. Because them grubbing is the only indicator that I can really see that they're down there. Is I can see bubbles coming up. Oh, there's a little... Oh, there, he's just jumped off it. Little tit just came and jumped onto my log pile. Oh, there he is. Just swim through. There we go. Lovely creatures. Righty. Yeah, let's put it. So, I've just dropped another fish, this time on the left-hand rod, the one you saw me cast out and bait up to those bushes over there. Obviously I'm quite annoyed about it, just taking me 15 minutes to get over it before I do this bit to camera. You see I've got my quiver tip rod out as well, which isn't having any interest, to be honest with you. Yeah, basically there's 2 reasons I think that I've dropped a couple of fish. Number one is the 1 ounce leads that I'm fishing with. They just don't prick the fish quite as well as a 2 ounce lead when they pick up and bolt with them, and that means you've got to strike slightly more when you get the run. And the second reason is that I think that this branch you can slightly see above my rods there, it means I have to strike at a slightly funny angle. I can't strike how I normally would because it'll hit the branch and it'll give it slack line, so I sort of have to strike backwards and to the left. And it's just, I don't know, it's just ever since I've been doing that, I've just been dropping them slightly. So I've checked, it was on a different rig as well, I've checked both the rigs. The hooks I'm using are Fox Armours. I've trusted them through thick and thin. I went through my Kel campaign, 20 and 30 pound fish, and I never even dropped one. So I think it's, it's a combination of factors. A, the smaller fish obviously do tend to drop off slightly more. B, these lighter leads I'm having to use because the really soft silt just aren't pricking the fish quite as well. But I can't go up to the 2 ounce leads because they'll just dig into the silt. And see, it's this stupid striking angle I'm having to do. So yeah, really frustrating. But at least there's fish down there, at least there's fish feeding. I've now had 3 runs off all 3 rods, so you know, that's something. At least we've got 3 spots that are producing fish, or producing runs anyway, and we've still got 24 hours or more to go to actually land some. The quiver tip rod I'm fishing with breadcrumb, sweet corn, maggots, just really for crucian carp down in the edge here. I've had maybe 1 tap so far, so I'll keep trying with that. But yeah, so there's the little update. I think it's about 12:30 now, I guess. Coming up to 1 o'clock. So I'm going to put some lunch on soon, I think. It's really frustrating though. Right then, well that was a bit of a turn up for the books. I was just about to, well what I'd just done is I've just recast all 3 rods. The left and right went back on their normal spots, and the middle rod went out to much further out, where I've seen a little bit of fizzing going on the pop-up. I didn't even put any baits around it. I was about to, and I cast it sort of most of the way to the other bank, and then I was just wandering down this bank to catapult some corn over the left-hand rod when I heard one of the alarms going mental. Came back, the middle rod was peeling away. Surprised I didn't find a snag. And after an epic battle, a truly epic battle, well, I have one of the smaller originals in the net. It's the one known as Goldfin, I think. We're going to get him on the mat, we'll get him weighed, and we'll get him up for you. Oh, excellent, what a result. Right then, I'll see you in a sec. Right then. Here we go, just weighed him in at 12.5 pounds. I can't remember what he weighed before, last time we caught him, but I don't know, I'm sure I'll have it on the computer somewhere. There he is, a stunning fat ghost carp that's lived in this lake for I don't know how long. With that massive mouth on him. His paddle is comparatively small to most of the wildies in here, but the size of his upper body is just monstrous. 12.5 pounds. Oh, excellent to catch him, excellent to get one of the originals. I told you I tossed that rod a little bit further than it had been fishing previously. It's got a little mark on him there. See, that's from spawning. I put a bit of carp care on that. There we go. 12.5 pounds of wild lake ghost carp. Amazing fish. Yeah, I just tossed that rod 20 yards further than it had been fishing. No baits around it, just where I'd seen a bit of fizzing coming. And within literally 3.5, 4 minutes, raced away. Right, let's get still and put him back. Awesome creature. I'll just have one last look at you. Oh, there you go. That's made me a very happy lad indeed. I'm going to get the kettle on, have a celebratory cup of tea and a cigarette. That was on these, I think I showed you them last time, my homemade black cherry cork ball pop-ups. 16mm, just a single one of them, popped up half an inch off the bottom, and it was fishing here. And then I moved it to, well, around here between the reeds and the tree over there, about 10 yards off the bank, and it just peeled off the middle rod, and it's gone straight back onto there. 5 or 6 baits over it. I've finally managed to catapult the corn over there. This one's got plenty of bait on. Everything is set up, all the rigs are great. Well, as in they sat great, I felt them down. All of them, sometimes when you see a rig hit the water, you see the lead and the bait hit separately. I love it when I can see that. Just know there's no tangles and they're sinking down perfectly, and all three went like that. So both fish landed on the pop-up, but 2 runs, 1 on each on the corn and chickpea mix. So yeah, all 3 spots are getting bites, all 3 baits are getting bites. Only one of them's being landed, but I tell you what, I'm not gonna moan when I've just had that beautiful fish. So yeah, let's get the kettle on. So, as if having a fresh brew wasn't exciting enough, there is all manner of fizzing going on over here. And I've seen about 3 fish top there in the last 5 minutes. Oh, look at that patch of them coming up there. That's one of the things I love about this lake. It's because of the incredible silty bottom, which has, as we've realised, has its own problems, but because of that you can just see these enormous clouds of bubbles coming up whenever fish are about. And you know, you see these fish top and then they go straight back down and just cloud up the bottom. Such exciting fishing. And you know, these fish are 10 yards to the left is my middle rod, and 10 yards towards me is my right hand rod. Oh, it's so exciting. Eventually this really does look good for a bite. It's a little bit too sunny at the moment, as you can probably see. It's beautiful clear blue skies. I wouldn't mind, even though it's lovely and warm, a little bit more overcast. But yeah, it really does look good for a bite, it really does. I've just spotted our old friend, the orth. Where's he going to emerge? There he is. There he is. Beautiful little creature. Oh, he's disappeared now. Oh well, still loads of fizzing coming up in front of this tree here. I know it's just too snaggy to put a bait there, even though I'm so tempted to cast one out and hope it drops into some silt. Maybe if I haven't had a bite in the next 20 minutes, I will do. See, I've taken the front off the bivvy. Oh, jump down. That's just to stop it from being just too hot in there, because the sun was really out earlier. Come on, bite. Whew. Absolutely amazing. I tell you what, proactive fishing is the way forward on here, it would appear at the moment. I told you just a second ago I was going to pop that rod over in front of those trees. I tossed a few baits out to scare anything away that was there. I thought would scare it away for 5 minutes while I tossed the lead out. Lead went exactly where I wanted it. I was pretty sure it was going to be on top of the snag, but I thought it was worth a try anyway. And as I was tightening up the line, the bloody thing flew out the rest in my hands. Hadn't even had a chance to put the line through the alarm. The bobbin just smacked my finger as I was about to do it, and the rod got pulled forward, and we've got what looks like a stunning spawny in the net. Oh, that's really, really excellent. I'm so glad that's worked. I'm pretty sure that is one of the exact fish I've been watching topping and fizzing right in front of that tree there. And honestly, that lead, oh, I told you, I hadn't even put the line through the alarm. Right, let's get him up on the mat. Excellent. Right then, so here we go. Here's our prize for our productivity. Stunning little spawny common carp. I don't know how many there are in here like this, but I assume there's quite a few. Born probably 2-3 summers ago, and he's just, look at him, not a mark on the little bugger. Fins perfect, mouth perfect, not a barbule missing. Whew, amazing, amazing fish. These fish just mean so much more to me than ones out of somebody else's pond. Amazing. Right, let's show you the other side quickly, and then we'll get him back. Thank you, mate. You've made me very happy indeed. Right, let's put it back. So it's about half an hour after that fish. The buggers are back on the spot. We've got some bubbling coming back up. I'm really, really confident that middle rod's got to go again. I'm sure of it. It's right in amongst them, that pop-up. We know they like those pop-ups. I've been feeding them on the black cherry boilies for a couple of years now, and so they recognise the black cherry as a food smell. Oh, sorry. And the black cherry pop-ups are just right in their face. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the camera down on the rods, give it 10 minutes, see if we can get a run on camera. It's got to go. It's got to go. Right in amongst them. Right then, so I set the camera up on the rods for about 10 minutes. I can see the camera's not straight actually. And there was loads of fizzing coming up, and I wasn't getting a bite. I thought both times I've had a bite, it's come right off, sort of within, well, the first one was in about 2 minutes of the cast, and the second one was in about 10 seconds of the cast. So I thought there must be something wrong down there, so I reeled it in, and sure enough, bloody great branch on the end. Didn't lose the rig, thankfully. So I made sure the hook was nice and sharp, and I popped it straight back a little bit closer to me where I've seen a bit more of the fizzing of late. But it's just a classic example of the snags we've got down here. And in 16 foot of water, you've got very little chance of actually managing to find that and pull it out unless you hook it. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but it's wild lake fishing, I suppose. But we got it back on the spot, a little bit close to me. I'm pretty sure that's clear because I think that's where I had the second one from. So yeah. Let's wait till that fizzing comes back, and when it does, I'll set the camera up. We'll try and catch a run on camera. Proper exciting fishing, though. It's like tench fishing in the summer. You're watching the fizzing coming up, get closer and closer to your bait. Oh, it's brilliant. So as you can probably tell, the those fish didn't pick up the pop-up. Which is incredibly annoying because I can see them still fizzing over there, and the pop-up is still there. I've just moved it onto where the right hand rod was, because the right hand rod, I thought I'd just tell you, it's gone over there onto a spot where Leo had a little bit of success, and I think I've seen the fish moving over towards, so yeah, a little bit of a change because I felt that the left hand rod isn't going to do much at the moment. I know there's some fish chilling under those trees over there because I saw them earlier, but apart from that one missed run, it doesn't mean much there. So yeah, this right hand rod has gone into a spot where I know produces. This right hand rod on here is where I've had those two fish early and amongst those bubbles, even though if they've started to wise up to it a little bit. And yeah, in the night time I'll get the eel rod out again. So stick the radio back on, maybe have a nice ciggy and chill out really. Quite proactive fishing for the last couple of hours, really chopping and changing and trying to find the fish, keep casting, keep making sure they're not spooked by getting the baits out, the timing right. So yeah, it hasn't paid off in the end, but I've had a couple of nice fish from that tactic earlier, so I guess in the long run it has worked. So yeah, a little bit of a change of tactics. Dinner's in about an hour and a half, I think, so plenty of time for a bite beforehand. Right then, so it's about 10:30 now. Got back in from dinner a little while ago, but I've had to let a couple of mates in, set their tent up. They're here for a bit of eel fishing. Left hand rod is on the pop-up boilie out to where I had those 2 fish earlier. Right hand rod is the eel rod. Now Will, our expert stickleback expert over here, went and caught a couple in the net, and we've hooked one on, a few maggots as well just to keep it on there, head and a tail chopped up, loads of smell coming out. We got about 2 handfuls of maggots over the top and a handful of corn as well to attract some little fish to attract the eels, so that should go off any moment. And then we've also got the rod over there on Leo's spot for hopefully fishing for some medium-sized carp off that bush over there. So we're going to make this fire work, because at the moment it's a pretty sorry sight, and hopefully one of those rods will scream off.
Yeah, no.
Alright, so it's coming up to about 1 o'clock in the morning now. We've had no touches on all 3 rods, even the eel rod, which has remained silent with that stickleback on there. So we're probably going to head to bed in a little while, stick 2 rods out for carp for the night, and go to bed in a minute.
To the very specific date in the calendar for the whole.
Right then, so it's about 6 in the morning, I guess. Middle rod, that's the pop-up boilie rod that's had the other 2 fish, the other 2 carp, absolutely peels away. Well, it wasn't actually, it was a funny little bite. Bobbin rose right the way to the top, a couple of clicks on the free spool, and I hit into a hard fighting wild lake mirror carp. This is Margot, up on weight at 13 pounds. First time it's been seen this year, and it's colossus. Look at that. Stunning fish. Right, let's turn it round. This is one of the old females in here, and this fish will be a mother to loads of the spawnies that are getting up close to its own size now. Right, let's get a couple of pictures and put her back. There we go. No idea what the time is, but I've just been woken up by an amazing fish. Whoa. It's our resident golden oar, named Robert Smith. Stunning little fish, must be about £3 these days. Awesome creature. Look at that. Amazing. Right, let's put him back, get the rod back out. Right then, so it's a little bit later in the morning now. It's been a bit of a manic one, to be honest with you. I've been pretty tired, so I've been trying to get my head down, and I've been woken up by 2 amazing fish. And then we're sort of getting up about now. 3 rods are all for carp. I ended up putting 3 rods out for carp last night because the boys persuaded me to. One, the left hand's over here somewhere on corn. That's the one that had the gold north. The middle one's on pop-up boilie, where I had the 2 carp yesterday, somewhere around here, and that's the one that had that old mirror carp. And then the right hand one down here hasn't had a touch, and that's usually my favourite spot, the one down here. Usually have most of my bites off that, but I've had one in the last 48 hours, 1 bite, and it didn't even come to a fish. So yeah, the sun's come out a little bit and it's becoming a little bit tough on the bottom, so once I've got a bit of energy up, I'll walk around the lake and see if we can't trick one on the surface or in stalking or something like that. But yeah, it's been a really good session so far, and I think we've got about till the end of the day to try and catch another one, so yeah, let's have a go. Right, so I just lost a fish. Middle rod, that's the rod that all the carp action's been coming off. Back out to that spot I found yesterday where I caught that original, and then the one this morning. Had a knock and then absolutely peeled away. Picked up the rod, felt really hefty. I think it was one of the bigger originals, to be honest with you. And took me straight down into one of the underwater branches in here. And I gave it a bit of slack line. I tried a few different angles, but there was just nothing on the end of it. It must have ejected the hook and stuck it straight in the trunk. And I lost the rig, unfortunately. So I've just tied up a new one and put that back out to a slightly different spot, away from where that branch is, because I don't want them to have a chance to get in there. And then we're going to do a little bit of stalking this morning. There you go, finally most people are woken up. Yeah, we're going to go around and checking the margins, because I've seen a few shadows since I've been up, lurking along these near margins. So I've got the critically balanced hook bait on there, half floating corn, half sinking corn, that just sits under the surface. Yeah, so let's see if we can get one. Alright then, here we go. Here's Bull with his river monster. Oh, let me get a zoom on. There we go, lovely crucian carp taking on stalking maggots just down in the margin here. We're just packing everything away now. We haven't got long to go of the session, but while we're doing that, Billy's using the John Wilson Avon quiver. Single double A shot. Single double A shot, Drennan hook,
Put it back.
river monster. Yeah, go on, off it goes.
Fish on.
Another lovely crucian carp. Easy peasy. Slip it back. Right then, so the time has come to pack up the rods and go home. Not a bad session, to be honest with you. 2 crucian carp, 2 eels, a specimen gold north, and 4 awesome wild carp, including 2 originals over £10. It's been really good, to be honest with you. Did lose a few fish on here. I'm having to get used to that on the wild lake, because the underwater snags, the 1 ounce leads, just a few little bits that we're going to have to get used to when we drop a few less of them. But all in all, great session. And yeah, sorry the vlogging hasn't been particularly great the last sort of 12-15 hours. It's just because I've had a few mates down and we've been having a good time and catching a few fish, which is it's really good to get new people into the sport, and you know, hopefully they've been enjoying it. You enjoyed it, Tom?
Yeah, it's been a laugh, mate.
There you go, exactly. Alright, so yeah, I'll see you in part 3, where I think we're just going to be doing a short overnighter this weekend.